we want to talk about something about humanity. Human beings are just as evil, as angelic as they are. As evil as human beings are, they are also good. What do I mean by this? A human being possesses both of the characters that are mentioned everywhere, both the righteous characters and the unrighteous characters. But the only difference comes when we want to evaluate a human being and check that which one is deeply dominant in his personality. There is the evil side and the righteous side. But between these two extreme ends of human characters, there is one which is always dominant. And when I say that, I mean it is prevalent in his characters, in his behaviors, in his daily way of thinking and acting. But here comes the funny part. Out of these two characters, any can flip and be dominant according to the situations where this person is placed. That is how volatile it is to deal with a human being. Recently, there was a grueling experience that Kenyans are still reeling from. One of their own, the late Mr. Albert Ojwang, was sadly tortured and murdered in the hands of the Kenyan police officers. When we woke up to this news, the explanations that came up were that this guy had sent or had posted some defaming posts about a senior police officer on the internet. And so the officer went ahead and complained. And so the police were instructed to go deep into the issue and try and find out what happened. So, to cut a long story short, after this guy had been murdered in the hands of the police, human beings, as they always have been, and that being one of the characters that I'm talking about today, they were empathetic. People were sad from this event. And so a bigger part of the country asked that out of that anger, out of the pain that the parents were feeling, as well as other Kenyans, people should try and contribute some amount of money to the family so that maybe it would aid them in doing other activities. Because from what we saw on the social media, it is this son who was the breadwinner of his family. His dad has just retired from a laborer work he was doing somewhere in the coast of the country. Out of the good hearts that we are always possessing as peace-loving Kenyans, people decided to contribute. And one of the former comedians come activists by the name Eric Omondi contacted the family and he came up with a pay bill. So any well-wishers were directed to that pay bill so that they could send anything they have. And conspicuously, several other pay bills came up and they were being posted all over on the internet, specifically X platform. Guys who are purporting to be in the process or in the organization of trying to contribute for that family. And when several research was made, it came up that these were just scammers. And I was left in awe. I asked myself, how could a normal human being
take advantage of such a sad situation
and decide to con people? That is a sad state of affair. Why would people be so ill-hearted to be in such a place where they want to con people out of another person's death? But then I reminded myself that human beings have two extreme characters. The righteous that wants to do good to another human being, and on the other end, there is the evil character that does not care whether a person is bereaved, sick, or dead. They just want to capitalize and gain something out of it. So I saw a lot of people complaining over the internet, wondering how human beings are so evil. But me, somebody who has studied human beings, and I know that these characters exist, I never complained. I just observed, as the observer that I am, smiled, went ahead with my daily activities, because I know for life to balance, all these kinds of people must be in the society. We must have the good people, who are few in most cases, and the bad ones. A society will never balance if it is occupied by a greater good people than the evil ones. The good people must be few, and they must always constantly try to fight the evil ones, after which they will be silenced step by step. Same thing that happened to Mr. Albert Ojwang. From where I sit, I can say he was a good person, and he was trying to fight evil. The evil swallowed him. That's what life is.